Kayla. Oh. I've done something wrong. Can you see there? It only shows one in the left-hand corner. Does yours say that? Mine's not showing. I've been over here playing and it's not showing how many people are on here. What have I done wrong? Let's see. Let me go to setting. Okay. You hang on just a minute. Oh, it's showing. See, it's not showing. I can't see how many. Let me see if this works. Yeah, I've jacked it up. Hang on. Let's see. It's showing 20 are here. I don't see anything. I don't know what I've done. Let's see what the. Oh, nope. Settings. Layout, maybe. No. Hotkeys. No, I didn't hit anything. Visual background, no. Audio, no. Camera, general. Oh, dear Jody. Jody. What have you done? Is it going to be one of these mornings? Yeah, I have no idea what I've done. I've made it purple. Can y'all see that my screen is purple? Click edit layout. Where's edit layout? Settings. Edit layouts. Okay, layout. Now what? Screen layout. Picture in picture. No. What does this look like? I don't know what I've done. Add item. Media slots. Nope. Basically what's happening is on my end, I can't see who's here. I mean, I can see your comments, but like usually in the left-hand corner, it tells me how many people are watching. Not that it matters, but I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, I like to know how many people are on here and I can't see it and I don't know why. Okay. It's going to drive me crazy. We have 1 minute. Ooh, let's stretch. Time to put the watch on. That's going to drive me crazy. I can't see how many people are here. Shane's not here. Oh, pictures made smaller. Okay, hang on. Let me fix that. Right, settings. Camera. Nope. Audio. Nope. Virtual background. What did I do? It just shows one person's here and it's Kayla. It's just going to be me and Kayla today. I don't know. I don't know what I've done. I'll have to fix it later. Okay. It is 7 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so I'm going to pop it open. Crystal, it's showing you 8 people because you're on Facebook. So there's 8 people on Facebook joining, and then the rest of the people are on YouTube. That's why. All right, let me plug this curling iron in so I can do this nappy hair of mine. Okay, good morning. It is hump day. We're halfway through the week. Thank goodness, right? Yeah, it's confusing because I'm on Facebook and YouTube Live at the same time. So sometimes you can't really see how many people are on here, but it usually takes a minute for people to join because we're at 7 o'clock in the morning and not everybody is going for a promotion like some of you. Some of you are looking for that promotion, and so y'all get on here early and begin to chit chat. And then there's some people that goes, I'll just and then there's some people that are like, I'm happy in the position I am, so I am not joining early and chit chat. And I kind of felt like that today, but all right. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you guys joining us this morning. I really have no clue what I'm talking about today. Like, I try to get maybe a topic in my head, but my head is just, I don't even know how to explain what my head's doing. I mean, I'm okay. I'm not like terrible or anything. It's just that there's just a lot going on. So I'll start today and talk about what happened yesterday. How about that? Taking my glasses off. So Kayla is in charge. So if you see comments from Sneed's Farmhouse and you're like, how does she type and talk? It's like how does she do that all at the same time? I'm not. I have a miracle worker behind the scenes, which is Kayla. And Kayla is my moderator and she is me typing. So sometimes if you ask, you're welcome to ask questions and Kayla will comment because she's been here for a while, so she knows a lot. So, and if she don't know, I can answer it later. All right, let's see. How do I want to begin this? Today I have to go to have an ultrasound of my heart. If you don't know, I've been having some heart racing like moments, and I've been having some like heart fluttering, and it feels like a tickle in my throat. And 99% of me says it is total anxiety because I have a lot going on. But that 1% goes, I better get this checked out because it is my heart, and I don't need to ignore things that are happening. But I don't feel like there's anything to worry about. It is probably anxiety. I did have an EKG and the EKG was fine and she listened to my heart and it's fine. But just to make sure that there's nothing else wrong, she's sending me for an ultrasound. But I'm pretty sure it's anxiety because I do have a lot going on. Okay, Monday, I had to take my dad to where did we go? Oh, where did we go Monday? Oh, Monday we went to the radiologist. And then yesterday we had to go to the oncologist. And so there were 2 trips to Birmingham yesterday. And I'm going to try to get, I don't get ready good at the same time when I'm telling the story. But anyway, so we went to the oncologist yesterday and the doctor set him down. And this is what I like about cancer doctors. I guess they're more sentimental about the diagnosis. So they literally got in front of because I told him that he's hard of hearing. So the radiologist and the oncologist literally sat in front of him and talked to him. Not to me, they talked to him. And I absolutely love that. And they were like, "Do you understand that you have cancer?" And my dad was like, "Yes." And they were like, "Do you understand that this cancer is aggressive?" Yes. "Do you understand what the word aggressive means?" And my dad's like, "No." And it basically means that my dad is not going to die from prostate cancer. But when the word aggressive is on prostate cancer, it means the likelihood of the cancer spreading is very high if there's not any treatment. So they're explaining all that to my dad. And, my dad was able to answer questions and so forth. And I wish more doctors were like that. Because, a lot of times when you go into the doctor's office, it's rush, 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 and you don't really feel like no one heard you and all that stuff. And I guess when you have cancer involved, they're just more sentimental because when the C word is there, everyone's scared, right? So the cancer doctor said, "You're going to be," because he's having hormone therapy for 1.5 years, and then he's having radiation for 6 weeks. So she said to him, "You're going to be very weak. And you're 75 years old, so you already have some weakness. So I want to start physical therapy with you during this treatment because I don't want you to fall." She didn't want him to fall at home. And he's sitting here going like this. And I'm like, "Oh God, please tell me we're not going to do this." And she said, "You don't want to have physical therapy?" And he said, "No." Oh God. And I'm like, "Oh great, here we go." Then she goes into telling him that anytime you're under this treatment plan, there's a risk of heart problems. There's a risk of a heart attack. So she wanted to send him to the heart doctor just to rule out any blockage and stuff like this before she starts treatment because it's very hard on the heart. He's going like this. And I'm like, "Really? We're going to go there? Like, really? You're going to put me through this?" So she said, "You're not wanting to go to the heart doctor?" And he said, "No." And I'm looking at him going, "What the heck?" Now, please understand that for some reason, my dad has got severe anxiety when it comes to the doctor. Okay. I told you guys, anxiety is real. Okay. Anxiety causes heart palpitations, heart racing. You feeling like anxiety is real. And when he goes to the doctor, he has severe anxiety. I don't know why. And he can't really tell me why. But it is a real feeling for him. So I try to be sensitive to this is truly an impact on him. He is truly scared to death to have physical therapy. It makes no sense to me, but it makes sense to him. So anyway, so she said, "You don't want to go to the heart doctor." And I already know he has blockage because we've already been through this. And he had blockage years ago, and his anxiety would not let him have a stress test. Okay, a stress test is not going to kill you, right? It's a stress test. Like, I'm 50 years old and have to have stress tests. But for him, a stress test causes him severe anxiety. So years ago, it got so bad, like me trying to force him to have a stress test to tell him that, because he was like, I'm going to die and go to heaven. I'm like, that sounds fantastic. Like, what the heck? But for him, it's like he can't do that. He can't, and it seems so simple to me, right? But he literally can't do it. So here we are again, and he can't do it. So he, in the middle of the doctor's office yesterday, he starts bawling his eyes out, saying, I want to go home with my baby. I want to go home with my baby. I mean, like sobbing like a baby. He is sobbing, wanting to go home to his baby. And I know what that means. The doctor didn't know what that meant, but I did. It means that he wants to go home to my mother. My mother passed away in 2009. So he is sobbing, wanting to die. So then what happens to Judy? I am sobbing like a baby. I'm like, I am just, the doctor's got tears in her eyes. I've got tears in my eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So the doctor said, I'm not going to force you to do anything. When people have the diagnosis of cancer and they don't want to have any treatment, then I'm going to honor that. So what do you want me to do as your doctor? And he goes, I want to have radiation and hormone therapy, but that is it. And she said, done. I'm not doing that to you. If you don't want to go to the heart doctor and you don't want to have physical therapy, I am going to honor that. But it's my job as a doctor to tell you what could happen. So she began to tell him, you're going to get very weak with this treatment. So the chances of you falling are high. And if you fall and you break a hip, you will probably live about 6 months. Do you understand that? And he said, yes. And then she said, do you understand that you can have a heart attack and die with this treatment? Yes. And I'm over there going, are you kidding me? Like, you're just going to give up? Like, you're just going to give up? Like, what the crap? Like, I am, at this point, I'm starting to feel frustrated and mad as heck. And we get in the car and I'm crying. I'm in the doctor's office just bawling. Because it seems so stupid to me, right? Because I'm like, why are you giving up over prostate cancer? It ain't like lung cancer, or, why are you just going to give up? So I got in the car with him and we sat in dead silence. And neither one of us had ate breakfast or anything. And by this time, it's lunchtime. And I'm like, I'm just going to take us to Cracker Barrel or something to get us. And so then me and my big mouth, I can't shut up. So I start questioning him. And I was like, I need you to explain to me why you have severe anxiety when you go to the doctor. And he starts saying, well, one time when I had respiratory therapy, the therapist said that her husband had anxiety. I said, I don't care about the therapist's husband. I need you to tell me why you can't, what is it that causes you to pace the floor, not eat, stay up at night because you have anxiety because you're going to get your blood drawn the next day? What is that? And he goes, I wished I could explain it, but I can't. And I'm like, so basically, you want to live with me take care of you, me stop my farm, stop everything, drive you all the way to Homewood every day for you to give up. Like, that's what you want me to do. Does this sound fair to Judy? Like, does this sound, so you're going to be in my house one day, be weak and fall, and then I'm going to deal with the consequences of you falling and breaking your hip and me having to go back and forth to the hospital and then to the nursing home while you go through like physical like is this fair to me? Like quit feeling sorry for yourself and think about all the people around you that are trying to take care of you. And he just sits in dead silence. And I am getting madder and madder, madder. And I'm thinking, Judy, this is not like, and I could feel my heart, going all out of whack. And I'm like, my heart is totally anxiety. And I probably need to call my doctor and get on something to get me through this, is what I was thinking in my head. And so we go to Cracker Barrel. We eat lunch. No, breakfast. We ate breakfast during lunch. And we get home, and I'm just, I'm like, what am I feeling? Like, what am I feeling? And I'm trying to talk to myself. And, I tell you guys, when you're going through things like I'm going through, and you have anxiety and there's things that you can't control that other people do, like, what do you do to take care of yourself? Because at the end of the day, you have to take care. Like, I can't force him to do these things, right? Because if I begin to force him, I'm miserable, he's miserable. And like, that's not what, like, when he does pass away, that's not what I want to remember, is me forcing him to do things that he don't want to do. Like, that's not what I want. So, like, how do I take care of myself? So I came home, and sweet Kayla was here. Kayla is helping take care of my farm through these hard times. And I come here and I go out there, and she is like working herself to the bone. And what I loved about Kayla is because she's the type of worker, like, I can say, I need you to clean out the inside of this coop and clean out the duck pond. And she's like Miss Entrepreneur, because she's not just going to clean out the duck pond, but she's going to clean out the duck house too. Because when she was cleaning out the duck pond, she noticed the duck house was dirty. So she goes the extra mile to clean out the duck pond. And then and I was like, I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. I feel like, so instead of concentrating on all this negative, I need to concentrate on the blessings that I have right now of her helping me take care of my farm and being a little entrepreneur. And like, I'll go out, my coop looks like she's gotten all the cobwebs out. And like, those were things that were stressing me out, because I don't like when my farm is out of control with like nastiness. And it happens. Like, you can clean your coop, and within a couple of weeks, it looks like you didn't clean your coop. Like, that's how it is with the farm. And so you have to stay on top of it. So it gave me so much comfort to go out there and go, this is one less thing that I have to worry about, is my farm, because Kayla is going to take care of me. Like, that's how I felt. And so I felt so comforted to go, okay, so I need to concentrate on this. But I came inside and I had a moment. I bawled my eyes out because I'm so frustrated. If you don't watch, I do a podcast with Haley. It's called Noodle Brains, and it's on YouTube, and it's on, I forget, it's on a lot of different things. I'll have to get her to tell you all the things it's on. But it's like, you can listen to it like through not Facebook, through YouTube, or like iMusic or something like that, iHeartRadio and all that stuff. Anyway, I was talking about, feeling all over the place, and like how I can't even talk. I'm so just crazy. But basically, let me back up for a minute. So I came inside, And I just had a moment to just cry my eyes out and go, "How are you feeling?" And before I went to the doctor's office, I had phone calls with my other family members about my brother, which is terrible. And so I think I just feel a little overwhelmed because I know that I feel it in my heart that I'm about to lose my brother. He's on his last leg. And I'm about to lose my brother, and now I'm about to lose my stepdad. And I don't have a lot of family to begin with because I told you that a lot of my mom's sister has passed away with brain cancer. My mom passed away choking on a hot dog. My dad passed away with lung cancer. Here my brother is, and it just feels my dad's side of the family. His brother passed away. His sister passed away. So like I have one aunt on that side in my immediate family. I have one aunt that's still alive, and then I have one aunt and an uncle that's still alive on my mom's side. And so, I told you my biggest fear is to be homeless, and it feels like everyone's leaving me. It feels like, my dad's given up, my brother's given up, and I feel like it's me and Greg. Greg is my brother that went live with me. And I sent Greg a message and I said, "Will you please go live with me again?" I said, to talk about addiction. Because I feel like that Greg and I are, I just burnt my ear. I feel like Greg and I are called to tell our story with our brother. I feel like Greg and I talking about addiction and what all that's happened with my brother. I feel like that telling our story together, Greg and I, and feeling like we're the only ones left, I feel like will be powerful because my brother is a big believer. And so am I. And I feel like, so I asked him this morning, I said, "Will you go live with me to talk about addiction?" And he said, "When?" So soon, Greg and I together will be talking about what we're going through as a family, watching our baby brother die and lose everything. So there's a lot going on. And I feel like, with having a nonprofit farm, I depend a lot on tours and field trips to pay for my farm. And most months I break even, at least I break even most months. And so with me not being able to work and take my dad to radiation, when my dad's given up, I'm like, why am I? And I said to him, this was so awful of me. I turned around and I said, what if I give up? What if I give up and I'm not taking you to radiation every day? How would you feel? Because I'm stopping my farm and I'm not making a dime to help you. And you're going to give up. And why am I taking you to radiation if you're going to give up? Like, why don't I just give up? I said that. Was that not awful of me? That was awful of me. And I said that because I was so frustrated, that he's just giving up. And I'm going to tell you, when I talk to you guys, I break down conversations, right? I do. I break them down. But the problem is I'm not smart enough to break them down before I open my big mouth. Are you like that? We just go to talking because we're frustrated. And then we have regrets about saying things because they're so darn ugly. And it's important to break down the conversation before you open your big mouth like me. So, because now I have regrets, and I was like, God, Judy, that was so ugly. Like, that was ugly. But I think that when I break down the conversation of him giving up, what is he trying to tell me? So that's where we are today, is going, okay, I need to break this down and get in his shoes and see how he feels, because I am not 75. I do not have cancer. I have not lost my spouse. So I don't know how he feels, right? I have no clue, because I'm not going through any of that. So I'm trying to break it down and go, okay, what is he trying? Like when he says, I want to go home to my baby, what is he trying to tell me? Like I felt like as a Christian, I was like, you want to go home to your baby? Like your baby's not going to save you. Your baby is dead. Like what the heck? And and when it comes to my brother, and if you've lost your spouse, you're probably relating right now to my dad, and you're fixing to relate to my stepmother. So my stepmother lives down where my brother that's an addict lives. And my stepmother is trying, to make a long story short, my brother hasn't paid any bills in over 6 months. And so my brother did not show up to court, and my sister-in-law got everything because my brother is not with us really. And so now my sister-in-law, God love her, has trying to figure out the business, because my brother has his own business and my stepmother is trying to help. And I thought, why is my stepmother trying to help them? But she said to me, she's like, I'm doing what your dad would want me to do. And I thought, my dad would want you to step away and not let this pull you down. My dad would not want you to go be trying to get his insurance back and all this stuff. But I'm not her. And I've not lost my spouse. And I'm not my stepdad. And I have not lost my spouse. So my poor stepmom is trying to pick up the pieces of the disaster my brother has caused with his business. And she's trying to go, we've got to get insurance back. This is going to cost a fortune. And she's the strong one of our family when it comes to that side. And she's trying to do what my dad would want her to do. And I thought, I don't know what it's like to lose my husband. And my dad started the business that my brother owns right now. So she's very sentimental when it comes to my brother losing his business, because it was my dad's, and my dad was a little entrepreneur. And I tried to, I'm probably talking in circles, and if I am, I'm sorry, but I'm just like, okay, I need to be my stepmom, and I need to be my stepdad for just a second and feel what they're feeling. They have lost their spouse. And my dad must feel awful that, first of all, he's having to live with me and he feels like a burden. And then the fact that he has cancer, and can you imagine what he feels like knowing that I have to stop Sneed's Farmhouse for him? So I don't think that he's given up. I think that he feels guilt and burdened to me, because he's like, I don't want to go do physical therapy because Judy's already having to take me to Homewood 6 weeks and stop her whole entire life to take me to radiation for 6 weeks. And the last thing I want to do to her is put physical therapy on her and add that to her list. And then the last thing I want to do is go to the heart doctor because I already know I have clotted, what is it called? Clotted arteries or whatever. I don't want to go there because I know I'm going to have a procedure, and then that's going to be added to her bucket list too. So she's fixing to have to probably, I'm probably going to have whatever it's called, stents put in because I have carotid arteries. And then she's going to have to be taking me back and forth for that. And then she's going to take me back and forth for radiation and take me back and forth for physical therapy. I don't want to do that to Judy. That's what he's saying to me, I think. And I'm over here mad as Hades because I feel like he's given up. But if I was 75 and I was having to live with my kids and I was having to be faced with all these things that I'm being faced with, I would probably do the same thing that he did. Right? This drives me crazy because when I do my thumbs up, the thumbs up comes up. Anyway, I'm like, Judy, you've got to break down the conversation and see what he's telling you. My stepmom, it's not that my stepmom is enabling my brother to keep the business going. Like I told her she was enabling my brother. I did. I was so ugly. Like, just like I was ugly with my dad. I'm like, you're enabling my brother. You're keeping the business alive. Let him hit rock bottom. I want him to get better. And as long as you keep rescuing him and keep the business alive, he's going to continue to do what he's doing. Let him fall on his face. Let him fall. And my stepmother, let's break that situation down, is she's going, your dad is no longer here to just beat the crap out of your brother. Like, my dad's not here. My dad would flip. My brother would have been kicked out of the business. My dad would have never let it get this far, ever. So for my stepmother, if I break down the situation and I say, because in my heart, she's enabling my brother by she works for my brother, let's just put it this way, and she does all the bookkeeping. And when she found out my brother had not paid insurance for 6 months, she flipped her lid, and she went to battle to get his insurance back because my brother has left his whole family with no insurance. So she's going to battle. But let's break that down. What is she trying? Is she meaning to enable my brother? No, my stepmother is precious. My stepmother is so precious. So she's not trying to enable my brother. She's trying to fix the necessities and then back away. Because if my brother's building burnt to the ground, there's no insurance right now. My brother's family has no insurance, like no car insurance and no health. Like that she's trying to fix that. So she's not personally trying to enable my brother. What is she doing? She's doing what she feels that is, she has to be okay at the end of the day when my brother passes away. If my brother passes away, she has to know in her heart that she did everything that she could do to try to help. And she is. My stepmother is a rock. My stepmother is a rock. And she is. So instead of me feeling frustrated and mad about my dad, my stepdad, and my stepmom, it is important when you're in situations like this, before you open your big mouth like your Aunt Judy and say the most god-awful things to them, it's important for you to step away and break down the conversation. Because I totally attacked my dad yesterday. And I really do owe him an apology, because I really feel like, I mean, yes, he does have anxiety about going to the doctor. He does. But I think that he doesn't want to burden me any more than he's already. Can you imagine if I had to go to physical therapy, go to radiation therapy, go to the heart doctor? I mean, just this month, just this month. Yesterday we went to the radiologist. No, Monday we went to the radiologist in Birmingham, hour drive there. Then we did it again Tuesday. On November the 8th, we have to go have seeds implanted. November the 14th, we have to have a CAT scan to measure where the radiation's going. On November the 22nd, and all this is in Birmingham. November the 22nd, we have to go to blood work. November the 28th, we have to go back to the cancer doctor. Then radiation's going to start probably the 1st or the middle of December. So guess what? Guess what your Aunt Judy's doing Christmas Eve? It's not having a Christmas party. I'm going to be driving to Birmingham to have radiation, because he has 2 days off. He has Christmas Day and New Year's Day. And that is it. So New Year's Eve, I'm going to be taking my dad to radiation. Christmas Eve, I'm going to be taking my dad to radiation. And so, like, can you imagine how he feels? For just a second. Can you imagine? He's like, I've interrupted Judy's Thanksgiving. I've interrupted Judy's work. I have interrupted Judy's Christmas. I have interrupted Judy's New Year's. But see, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as, I'm thankful that I can do it. I'm thankful that God provides for my farm. You backup dancers, y'all show up and help me. Y'all do. Y'all show up here live. People have made donations. People are sending me feed. You guys my animals are not going to go without. At the end of the day, they're not going to go without. Shane's not going to allow it to happen. I'm not going to allow it to happen. I'm working almost every weekend to provide for my animals. Like, I have opened my farm every weekend to do tours and so forth, so I can help pay for this through these hard times, because I'm having to close my farm during the week. So God provides. At the end of the day, I'm not going homeless. Leroy is not going homeless. Like, I have to remind myself of that, because I will, just like you, when we get under a tremendous amount of stress, what do? We go in left field. And everything that we fear and struggle with becomes electrified. It's like, oh my God, I can't work. The animals are not going to be paid. I'm going to be homeless. Like, I better get my life prepared. That's what we do. We go in total left field. This is horrible. Oh my gosh, my brother's going to die. My dad's going to die. That's what we do. But it's important to stop ourselves when we feel ourselves going and spinning out of control. It's important to stop ourselves and go, let's break it down. Judy, let's break it down. Okay, your dad has cancer, and that's awful. And there is a chance he could die from it, and it is awful. But at the end of the day, when we talk about God being in control, and I did the role playing the other day, Monday, we have to remember that we don't know why God allows things to happen, right? We don't know why God allows. I mean, my brother may die with addiction. And it's like, God, you forgot to save my brother before he died. And this is not like, I'm supposed to live here on earth knowing that my brother may not be in heaven. Like, I'm supposed to live with that. Like, really, that doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside God. Do you get it? You need to save him before he dies, because Otherwise, Greg and I are going to be in total left field, and we're supposed to live with this, God. Like, surely that is not in your plan. Like, surely that cannot be in your plan. And can you imagine if my brother hit rock bottom, went to recovery, and changed his life? Can you imagine the testimony, the most powerful testimony, if my brother went back to normal? Can you imagine? But it's happening with me. I tell you all of this not to gossip about my brother, not to gossip about my stepdad. My my thought process is to be honest with y'all, because I don't want you to know that you're in this alone, because I'm pretty sure majority of you deal with addiction. I mean, come on, let's think about it. Like, addiction is everywhere, everywhere. And I say this because she says this, but Kayla has talked about her struggles, and she's 12 years sober. And how powerful, I've asked her to one day share her story. And I ask her to share her story simply because it gives other people hope. Because, it's embarrassing to sit here and go, I fight anxiety, I fight depression. I have got multiple things behind my name as far as diagnoses that I've been diagnosed with over the past 20 years. Like, it's embarrassing. If I told you every one of the diagnoses they've given me behind my name, you would be shocked. And so, I sit here and tell you all my story simply because majority of you, if I sat here and said, okay, I want everyone to say yes if you fight depression or anxiety or panic or anything like that. If you have mental illness that's been diagnosed or undiagnosed, majority of you would be going, yes, 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 yes. If I said to you, I want you to put yes, if your family fights addiction, if every one of you are going to go, yes, yes, yeah, someone that fights addiction. Someone that, whether you or someone that fights mental health problems, every single one of us here are going to say yes. And so not everyone likes to come out and open about, and not everyone's ready. Not everyone is ready to share their testimony, right? Not everyone is ready. Not everyone is open like me. Not everyone. And I just have found personally, if I keep my mouth shut, who am I helping? Like, that's how I feel. I feel like if I share my story, I don't know you. I don't know every one of you. I don't even know how many people's on here right now because I can't see it. But I know there's normally 100 people on here. And I'm gonna say personally, there's gonna be 100 people on here that has got a family member or a friend that fights addiction, and a family member or friend or yourself that fights addiction, or yourself or family member that has mental health issues. And when I talk, you're probably like, me too. Me too. Me too. And I tell you my story simply because it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Like, breaking down a conversation, maybe that seems like a foreign language to you, but I have found in my own personal health that if I break down the conversation, I'll look at things differently. Because in the beginning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so mad at him. He's just giving up. I'm not taking him to radiation. He's just giving up. That was the first reaction. Then I have a total meltdown, and I'm crying and mad and like frustrated. I'm frustrated at God and everything around me because he's just given up. And then when I come and stop myself and meditate and get to a quiet place, I'm I'm able to think rationally because I'm irrational when I'm out of control and I'm saying, "You've given up." Well, me too, and I'm not taking you to radiation. Oh yeah, I said that. So like you see how irrational I am and I'm not thinking properly because I'm reacting out of being mad. I'm mad as heck. I am so I am I am so mad. I am so mad. But when I get to a quiet place and when I get to a quiet place and I break it down, I see things totally different. And talking about Kayla, I know you're listening to me, Kayla. Like sometimes when I feel with addiction that it's too late. Like it's too late. If my brother quits today, would he ever go back to normal? Like I feel like there's no hope. But I had somebody reach out to me the other day and she said, I think it was her nephew. She said, I have a nephew that has a story just like your brother. And Judy, he's normal today. That gives me hope. That gives me hope. But like for the past couple of years, I've had no hope. I've had absolutely no hope. I've had to sit here and say, wow, like I'm going to lose my baby brother. And like when this week when he lost everything, I was like, it was a shock because I told you there's three of us. There's my two brothers and myself. Well, financially, my baby brother has been more successful than Greg and I. I mean, he has a business. He's been good. He's good. Like he's Greg and I mean, we're okay, but like we've not been as successful financially as my youngest brother. And to sit here and watch my brother run a successful business for my dad died in 2012. So from 2012 to today, so might as well say 12 years, my brother has ran a successful business until the past, I'm going to say really, he's been on meth for 7 years. So when we really started noticing a difference was probably about 5 years ago. So it really hasn't been 12 years. So to see your loved one go from being successful to being homeless and like his family leave, like he's lost everything. And it's like a shock to you, you know, like I guess a shock. And so when I hear other people's testimonies, it gives me hope. It reminds me that God is still in control because when I'm in the middle of a crisis, I shared with you Monday, God seems like a foreign language to me. Like with my brother, God seems like a foreign language. But when I listen to, like, I've not heard Kayla's testimony and I've asked her to share it one day. She's not ready right now, but when she gets ready, from what I understand, her testimony is powerful. And for people like myself that is not an addict, but we're watching everybody lose or this person lose everything, when we hear other people's testimonies, it gives us hope. Just like if you fight mental health and I sit here and share my story and go, oh yeah, all the time. All the time. I have to wake up and try to figure out how to put my dancing shoes on every single day. I don't wake up dancing every single day, but I hope I dance. You know, I I hope that I finally figure out how to get the shoes on. It may take me till 10 o'clock, but I finally figure out how to put them on. And when I tell you my story, I hope that I give you hope to go, if Aunt Judy can do it, I can do it. Because I tell you, it probably seems like a shock to you that I've been in rehab 5 or 6 times. I don't know how many times I've been in rehab. I probably change the number all the time. But, oh, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. For, to think that Aunt Judy, wait a minute. Aunt Judy had to get on a plane and fly to California to get in a dual diagnosis center because she fought depression and anxiety that bad. That seems like a foreign language to you, right? You're like, not my Aunt Judy. She's got it together. She gets here Monday and Wednesday. She's prompt. She shows up every Monday and Wednesday. It seems like a foreign language that I would be that way, right? It seems like a foreign language that I would be so flipping depressed that I could not get out of the bed for years. I couldn't even go to work. Yeah. I used to sit in the red chair. I talk about the red chair all the time. The red chair is where I sat all day long and cried all day long for years. So I tell my testimony to give you hope. It's embarrassing. It is straight up embarrassing to tell you that I had to go to California because I was so jacked up mentally. That is straight up embarrassing. It's probably embarrassing to my kids. It's probably embarrassing to my husband. But at the end of the day, it is reality. It is reality. Yes, I had to do that. And I've been through outpatient programs. I went through a year and a half of DBT. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a great program. I've been through Al-Anon for 2 years, I guess. Al-Anon is a program for families with addiction. I went through that for a year and a half, 2 years. I have a sponsor. I go to counseling every single week to this day to stay okay. I have to work at it every single day. It's not, I shared with Haley, I put this on my Facebook page, the link, but we have a YouTube called Noodle Brains, and it's Haley, a 17-year-old girl, and Judy, a 52-year-old girl, talking about how we deal with anxiety and depression because we both struggle. And so I told her that I honestly thought, you know how people say, God healed me. Like I don't struggle anymore. God totally took every bit of that away from me. I honestly thought that. I honestly thought I don't have anxiety anymore. It's been so long since I've had anxiety that I thought I was healed from it. I thought I was that person that can go, listen, God healed me. I thought that I was healed from depression. It's been the last time I can remember being in the bed depressed was when I lived in Stapleton. When I thought when we were moving and I was so depressed about moving. So we have been here 6 years in April. So I'm going to say 6 years ago is the last time I remember being depressed, but I didn't stay depressed for years like I would. So I'm going to say that I have been totally free of being in the bed for years or months. It's been 10 plus years ago. It's been a long, so I was to the point where I was told Haley, I was like, I thought I was cured. Like, I don't struggle no more. I ain't cured. I promise you that. Going through this with my brother and my dad has made me realize that it's still there. And if I don't wake up every single day trying to be in God's word and pray and work at my mental health and show up to doctor's appointments and all the things that I do, I will quickly get back. If I talk to Kayla right now, and she popped up here, and I said, "Okay, Kayla, what do you do to stay sober?" She's going to tell me that she has to work at it. Now, she probably doesn't have to work at it as much as she did 12 years ago to stay sober. She's probably not. But if she let herself slip, she would go right back to where she was 12 years ago. And so would I. Because if I don't work at it every single day, I will slip back to where I used to be. And so will you. God, yes, God is a great healer. Yes, He is. He is a great healer, but He also gives us a brain to make decisions for ourselves, right? Like He allows us to sin, He allows us to slip back, and He gives us the most beautiful brain to go, okay, Judy. You have choices. Like, just like I tell you at the end of the video, you have choices. You can sit it out or you can dance. You have a choice. In life, you have choices. God gives us the power to make choices. And if I don't wake up every day, now, when I first opened my eyes, it's almost like I'm like, this absolutely sucks. I've got to get up. Like today, I was like, I do not have the strength to get up and talk about mental health today. Like last night when I created this live, I was like, I can't do it. Literally, I cannot do it Wednesday morning. It's too much. And then I sat there and I thought, Judy, these people show up every Monday and Wednesday to hear you talk. They need you. See how you showing up helps me, because then I was like, okay, these jokers are going to show up and they're going to be chit-chatting before I even get here. I need to show up. If they show up every day, I need to show up every day. And you guys show up every single day. And I'm like, okay, listen, I've got to show up because you show up, I show up. So see how we dance together? I mean, yes, I guess I'm the leader because I'm the one that's outspoken and I'm the one who's talking to all you 100 people or however many people are on here. Yes, I guess I'm the leader dancer or whatever you want to say, and you're the backup dancers. But see, I can't. We're a team. We're a base. A pitcher can't show up and pitch without an outfield, right? He's not going to be able to play baseball without the outfield. Every position in baseball is important. The catcher, the first base, second base, third base, shortstop, right field, left field, center field. Every single player is important when you're playing baseball because you have no idea where the ball is being hit. Even the people in the dugout, the people that are sitting on the bench, they're so important too, because they're waiting their turn in case someone gets hurt, in case someone is having a bad night and can't play baseball. Those people are just as important. And you guys are important to me. When you show up every Monday and Wednesday, I can't dance without you. We're a team. We're a team. If you didn't show up, I wouldn't be here. I'd have set it out today. I would have set it out and go, today's not the day. My dad's driving me crazy. I can't do this. I'm sad over my brother. I just need time to grieve. So like, I can't do this. But when you show up, I'm showing up. Right? And that's the team that we have built together. It's important. I hope I'm making sense to you, and I hope that you feel important, because you are. And when you open your mouth and comment, you're showing up. And like when you're sitting behind the scenes and just listening, you're showing up. But like, you can't help people unless you talk. You can't get to know. And some people have anxiety about, speaking out, and that's okay. Keep showing up. You know, um, when I used to go to Al-Anon meetings all the time, at the end of our meeting, um, we say as a group, now I forgot the daggum saying. Hang on. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. That's what we say. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. And if you're behind the scenes and never comment, it's okay. But keep coming back because it works if you work it. Not that I have all the answers, because I don't. Like, I can tell you what works for me, but keep coming back. It works if you work it. In other words, if you take whatever you're dealing with and break it down, hopefully my story will help you. I don't know, it may not help everyone. It may not. You know, some people might think I'm just crazy. I am. At the end of the day, I am. But if you work just like Monday, us doing the meditation, meditation. You know, take one thing I say, I don't know, and try it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, try something else, you know? I tell people, hang on. I tell people that if you try to like, say you're going through something and every time you stand up you fall down. Okay, if you keep getting up the same way you fall down and you try to get back up and you stay up for a day or two and then you fall down again and then you try to get up and then let's just say you go a couple weeks and you're doing good and then you fall down again. Okay, well, if you keep getting up the same way, you're going to keep falling because the way you got up didn't work, right? So I can tell you the tools that I did to stand up, and it may work, it may not. But listen, I have a bunch of tools in my pocket. Like, it took me getting up a different way like 150,000 times. It took me to keep getting up, and I kept falling. Uh, I uh I always tell my kids that. I always say to them, they're like, "Mom, it ain't working." Well, get up a different way. I don't know what that way looks like, but like, just because this works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. But if you keep trying to stand up every time you fall down, okay, well, this way didn't work, so let me try something different and stand up. Okay, this way didn't work. Let me try some. You got to keep trying. Keep showing it up means you're dancing. Staying on the ground, falling means you didn't dance. That means you let it get to you. But when you keep standing up, I don't care how many times you fall. If you keep standing up, you're doing a good job because you're keeping working at it. But when you just lay down and give up, is when nothing's going to work. You're going to continue to drown. But keep getting up a different way and listening to podcasts and other channels that talk about mental health. Listening to other people gives me hope. Like, listening to I have been trying to listen to other people's testimonies from addiction just because I have given up hope with my brother. I've already got him, like, I'm already thinking, like, am I going to the funeral? Like, am I going to go to the funeral? Like, what am I going to do? Like, when my oldest brother calls me and says, okay, he's gone, what am I going to do? And I sit and role play it. Like, I literally will sit and, okay, Greg just called and said, Bobby's dead. What are you going to do? Okay, I'm going to walk over. I'm going to go outside and get by myself. And I'm going to sit over there by that tree. And I'm just going to cry. And I'm going to be mad at mom and dad because they're not here to help him. Like, I go through the whole scenario. Like, and then I'm like, he dead. Why am I going here? He's not even dead. But like, in what it's called, from what my counselor has told me, that it's basically a, not defense, it's a coping skill. Like, I'm trying to prepare myself from hurting too badly. So I'm trying to role play because I'm trying to feel like I'm trying to make myself okay if it does happen. Like, I'm trying to be okay. And so if you find yourself in situations where you're like, okay, you just found out your husband's like cheating on you. Okay, what are you going to do? And your husband hadn't even cheated on you, but you're role playing. And it's called, it's where you're trying to protect yourself. It's actually kind of natural to do that. But like, you don't want to stay there, right? Once you catch yourself doing that, you need to correct it, right? But it's natural to try to go, it's like a preparation of, I need to prepare myself for this death. Like, I need to prepare myself. And I think that listening to other people's testimony and listening to other people's mental health situations, like I have now I used to have this app on my phone. I'll have to think of the name of it. If you have family members that fight addiction and you're the family member that's trying to deal with it, there's this app where there's testimonies of people that have gone through Al-Anon, and they talk about, how they were an enabler. It just helps you. Listening to other people's testimony helps you, like, what worked for them, and you can try to get up the way they got up. But I'm gonna tell you, for me, there wasn't just one thing that I did. It was like, I started therapy in 2006. So I have so much therapy under my belt. I've had every kind of therapy from, like, what was it called, where they put electrodes on your head and you lay there, brain something. I've had so much therapy, role playing therapy, group therapy, DBT, Al-Anon. I've had so much therapy, so that's why I talk the way that I talk, and I've learned how to be able to handle things that I deal with, is because I've had so much therapy. And you can tell people that have had therapy versus people that have not had therapy. You can tell. You can tell, because we have the tools to cope. And people that have not had therapy, they don't have the tools to cope. And they're just running around like a chicken with their head cut off, spinning in circles, trying to figure out how to do this. It's like, no, 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 no. You have to go, just like if you had cancer, you have to go to the doctor for treatment. It's the same thing with mental health. You have to go to the doctor for treatment. And it's not like you go to the doctor one time and go, bam, I figured it out. No, you have to go the rest of your life. You have to make a commitment for a lifestyle change. It's the same with dieting. If you went on a diet and lost 50 pounds and then came off the diet, guess what? You're going to gain the 50 pounds back. It has to be a lifestyle change. If you want to stay 140 pounds for the rest of your life, you have to get up and work it every single day. And one day slip up will take me into a spiral where I don't eat right for months, sometimes years, because one slip up causes me to get in total left field. I don't know about you, but have you been on a diet before that you've lost all this weight and then you come off the diet and then you're like, well, that worked. It's been 6 months and I'm back to where I started. Wow. Why did I do that? That's stupid. It has to be a lifestyle change. It has to be. Everything that you deal with, whatever the struggle is with mental health, you have to go to counseling all the time. I mean, maybe it's once a month. You have to stay in touch because you're going to get in left field because stress is going to hit you. And if you don't put on your armor that I talked about Monday, you're going to be attacked. And you will slip back right where you were. And then you're going to find yourself on a plane to California. Okay? You will. It's God gives us the brain to work at it. Like he doesn't just go, now y'all can disagree with me, and I've said this before, but I've personally never seen, bam, you're healed in the name of Jesus and you never have to work at it again. I've personally have never seen that. That's just me personally. I don't want you to get mad at me if I believe that God heals us, yes, but God gives us a brain to work at it. Like, do I believe that I've been healed of the struggles that I have? I do. I do believe that I've been healed from it because I don't struggle like I used to. And I believe that God gives me the strength to show up every day and dance. The strength that I have doesn't come from Judy. Because if I did what my brain wants to do, I'd stay in the bed all day and cry. But God gives me a brain to go, Judy, you have a chemical imbalance in your head. You're going to have to take medicine the rest of your life. And I had to get to acceptance to be able to do that because in my brain, I was like, I am not going to be dependent of a pill the rest of my life. This is stupid. Like, this is stupid. But I had to come to grips with, okay, I truly have a chemical imbalance. Like, I have been fighting depression since I was in high school and I'm 52. Like, it's not going away. God gives me a brain that I have to get the right cocktail medication to be able to keep this brain okay. And it took years and years and years and years and years to figure out the right medication that worked with my brain. Well, we figured it out after many years. I told you that I started medication in high school. I got on the right cocktail in 2013. When I got on dialysis, I told you guys that I went to starving myself and started a new medication, and I became toxic and had to go on dialysis. Well, in the hospital, they changed my medicine that day in 2013, and I've been on the same medicine since 2013. But there's times when I need a little help. Like right now, I have been in a funk for about a week. That's not good. So I had to call my doctor, my psychiatrist, not my counselor, and go, I am not doing good right now. What's going on? I don't know. I got a lot going on situationally, and it's like not going away. So have an appointment to go to her to go, I might need something to settle me down because my heart is going nuts. And I feel like I'm doing okay because I'm not sitting here, like, I'm not staying in the bed. I'm getting up talking, like, I'm okay. I'm still taking my dad to the doctor. But see, physically, my body is like struggling because I have anxiety. So it's telling me, like, when this heart's racing, and if there is nothing medically wrong with me, then it is anxiety. And I don't know for sure yet. That's why I'm having an ultrasound, but I'm pretty sure it's anxiety because, like, I could feel my heart. Like, if I get excited, I feel my heart races and it won't stop. Like, it's just like beating out of my chest. And I feel scared because it's almost like I'm running a sprint, but my legs are not moving. And so I'm like, okay, what is going on with me? So it's important when those things happen, the first thing you have to do is rule out anything medical. You do. Because I could have, what is it called where your heart gets out of rhythm? I could have that. Mitral valve. But I need to make sure there's nothing medically wrong with me before I go to my psychiatrist and go, this is what's happening. I've gone to the medical doctor. There's nothing wrong with my heart, but this is what I'm feeling. And it's been happening for a week. So this is not good. So I might need something to calm me down a little bit to get me through this thing with my dad and my brother. And that doesn't mean it's a sign of weakness. It doesn't mean if you have to get a little something to help you get through it. It's a sign of smartness. It's a sign of knowing your body and go, I need a little help. Not being smart is to sit on the sidelines and then find yourself in the bed for months because you didn't do that. I have to get up and know my body and go, okay, something's not right. And you have to do that. You have to go, okay, what is going on with my body? Okay, I feel okay. Mentally, I feel okay. Like I do feel like I'm all over the place, but I'm not staying in the bed like I used to. So what do I need to do to take care of myself? What do I need to do? It doesn't mean that I'm going to be on, let's just say, Clonopin the rest of my life. No, but I might need a little something to get me where I'm going because I'm not doing well. I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not. But I'm not like I used to be. Used to, I would lay in the bed and never go to the doctor for months. And then I've train wrecked my whole entire family because they're like, mom's in the bed nonstop. Why is my wife going to bed at 6 o'clock every night? Like, so I'm a lot better than I used to, but I feel like God gives us the brain to go, what is going on with your body? Like, what do we need to do to fix this? Because we don't want to get where we used to be. Same thing with an addict. If they find themselves craving something, ding, 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 I better go there's medication to help you with cravings. There's medication for that. If you're having to fuel your body with stuff that's toxic to get yourself calm, ding, 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 we better get some help because if you don't, it's going to get worse. So those are things that are important. Oh, Lord, it's 8:15. Sorry I kept you so long. I'm sorry that I started preaching. I didn't even get the preaching stick out, though. So I love you guys. I'm going to have my ultrasound today just to rule it out. And no, a lot of you have been messaging me, asking me how I am. I'm okay, believe it or not. I am. Like, I'm a strong person, and I'm very aware of what's going on with me, and I don't ignore it. So rest assured that I am okay. I am okay. Like, nothing, like, I'm okay. The biggest thing that I'm struggling with right now is recording videos. And it's kind of worrying me a little bit because if I don't, when you're a creator and you just go to stop recording, like right now, my views are so down, it's not even funny. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Nobody wants to watch my videos. Like, what the heck? Don't y'all know that Leroy needs to eat? Like, really? Leroy needs to eat, and it feels like I'm a little left field about it. So what do I have to do this morning after I leave you guys? I have to go out there and record because I didn't upload a video Tuesday. And I'm supposed to upload a video on Thursday, and I have hardly any content that I have recorded. Because why? Because I've been on the road going to the Birmingham every day. So I haven't been able to record. So learning how to balance my life with social media feels really like I feel like I'm drowning. So if you want to know how to help me, go watch my old videos. Because I'm having a hard time recording because I'm not here physically to record. So it's hard. It's hard. And what happens is if you don't record and you don't post, people leave. Even though I have 16,000 subscribers on my YouTube page, or almost 16,000, that doesn't mean that 16,000 people watch my videos, right? And so building a platform takes a long time. You know how long I've been going live? I've been going live for a while, and it's taken me this long to build up backup dancers that are truly strong and are here to encourage each other. I kind of had to, like, we had to go through these hard times together and go, okay, who is this Judy girl? And why did Jason and Brooke go to her farm? And then I have to like try to introduce who I am. And I always tell people, I'm like, don't judge me by one video. Be with me for at least 30 days and see who I am. And I'm not just talking about me, other creators. Don't just judge by when she's boring. I'm not, because we might be having a bad day. Stay with them for 30 days. Give them a chance. Give them a chance, because creators work hard and you work hard, right? And I value your time. So I try to bring you really good content, and I tell my story because you guys show up. Then I need to encourage you to dance, because you might be just like me and want to sit it out. And we can't do that, y'all. We got to show up and dance because we have a life. We're on a mission, right? God gives us a purpose in life. And what is our purpose in life? To spread his word. And to spread his word means showing up. Because if you sit it out, that's not what he wants us to do. That's not it. He wants us to dance. He wants us to make difference in people's life. He wants us to be strong. And he gives us the brain to take care of ourselves. And we have to do that. This is a temple, right? We have to take care of ourselves. We only get one body. So we have to take care of this temple. And being an example to other people is spreading his word. Knowing what his word says. Breaking down conversations so we don't get in left field. Those things are important. So we're here together, and I thank you for joining me this morning. I don't even know what I have this week, the rest of the week. Today I'm having Thursday I'm going with Kayla to lunch to learn how to do this computer stuff. Then I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, Friday I'm going to see Hey Mickey. I'm going to see Hey Mickey Friday. And then Saturday I have tours. And then Sunday, my stepson is having a housewarming. He bought a house and he's having a housewarming party that I'm helping to host. So that's what my week is like. Holidays are coming up. Take care of yourself. Do what you have to do. If you need to go get you a stocking and put stuff in it and wrap it for you Christmas morning, you take care of yourself. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. You do what you need. If you need to go get a pedicure today, girl, you go get a pedicure today and take care of yourself. If your feet hurt from standing at work all day, you take care of yourself. I love you. Okay, you got two choices in life. You can sit it out or you can dance. And today, I hope you dance. I will see y'all Monday. I might do a surprise video. Because I need y'all just as much as you need me. So more than likely, you're going to see me before Monday. I don't know when. I got to get with Kayla to find out her schedule. But I am going to do a surprise video. I might try to include my husband. It just depends on if I can slow him down long enough. But I will do a surprise video. I don't know when. I'll try to tell you when so you can be here. But put your notifications on in case I don't have time to do it. I love you. I hope you dance.